Very good morning. Very good morning to one and all. I am very thankful to Principal Dr. Nandurkar sir, Dr. Pawar sir, and Professor Santosh Sangre sir for giving me this opportunity. Now, I will start with my session. Today, I am going to deliver a case study of application of genetic algorithm. All of we know genetic algorithm. We call it as a basic kind of algorithm, and the genetic algorithms flow chart. It is shown on the screen right now. It is available everywhere. All of we know the procedure is initialize the population, evaluate fitness, terminate criteria, then perform selection, crossover, and mutation, evaluation fitness. Again, this cycle is repeated until the termination criteria, and then we are reaching to the output solution. Now, here, before we start with this particular application of genetic algorithm, now I feel like this. The theory of the algorithm, various algorithms are there, their theories are available, their model, their mechanism is available, but how to apply that particular algorithm to a particular problem, this is a question. Now in this case study, I am trying to explain you the problem which is solved by me using the genetic algorithm. Now first of all, we will discuss the type of problem. Suppose there is an industry, and in that industry, suppose there are 5 machines. These are the 5 machines which are located at 5 different places in the industry. Now there is a question, what should be the sequence or what should be the order of these machines in the industry? Suppose machines are A, B, C, D, E, 5 machines, and those machines are placed at place number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then where A machine should be placed, where B machine should be placed, this is the very big question in the industry, because we all know the sequence of the machines is affecting on the material movement cost or distance to be moved for that material, for the operator, for the tools and everything, and which is going to ultimately affect onto the total material handling cost. Now here we can say that the machines be placed as per the sequence of the operations on the job. Machines be placed on the as per the sequence of the operations to be performed onto the job. But we all know, if we will go for a medium scale or little big industry, then there are n number of jobs in that industry. It is not depending on only one product. It may be having n number of products, and for all those products, the sequence of the job operations on that job is varying. It is possible that for first job, A machine is required for the first operation, but for the second number of job, C machine is required for the first operation. So we cannot consider only 1 or 2 jobs, and here the problem becomes very complicated. So such a problem we are considering here. So let us move to the next slide. Need of the optimization. In this case, suppose there are n machines in the industry. So as per the mathematics, the possible combinations of the machines to the given locations will be n factorial. Means if it is 3 machines, then the possible combinations will be 6. If it is 4 machines, then it will be 24 combinations. Means as the number of machines is increasing, the possible combinations of the machines are increasing. And this n factorial is a very big number in case of more number of machines. Again, here is another aspect in this problem. Okay, we have got n machines, so there are n possible combinations. Now what we can do, that for all those n combinations, we can find out the fitness function, and accordingly we will find out the answer. But the complexity increases here. As I told you, in every industry, there are n number of products. Suppose initially in the industry there are, suppose 50 types of products are there. Means in that industry 50 products are worked on the machines. Now it is not necessary that throughout the year or throughout the period all those jobs are demanded through the industry. The quantity of those jobs is constant. It is not necessary. The quantity of those products are varying. The operation sequence is varying. Sometimes the number of products are varying. Many times new products are introduced into the industry. Many times previous products are deleted from the industry or stopped production from the industry. In such cases, once whatever the sequence is finalized for the industry, that sequence cannot be made permanent. So here, in this case, we have assumed time period. So suppose using some previous information or anticipating some further information, we have anticipated some 3 or 4 time periods. Means for the first time period, the positions or the combinations of machines would be like this. For the second time period, the combinations of the machines can be like this. And third time period, the machines can be arranged like this. This is what is the problem. So in this case, the possible combinations, are reaching to a very huge number, which is a n factorial raised to t, which is a very, very huge number. And if we will try to find out the fitness solution for this particular number, it is almost impossible. So here, this objective function or fitness function checking, it is almost impossible to be done manually. Even on your computers also, this becomes a very hectic task. So again, one more concept is here in this problem. We are changing the layout of the machine. Means as per our requirement, we will change the positions of the machines from one location to another location. Here we are assuming that machines are not founded permanently. Nowadays, we are keeping those machines on vibration absorbing pads. So the machines can be of any kind. It is not permanently founded. It is placed on the vibration absorbing pad. So as and when we wanted, we can lift that machine and we can change its layout. And so why we wanted to keep the layout of the machines in the industry, means the locations of the machines in the industry such that it will be optimum at that instance or optimum for that period, so that at that period, whatever the number of jobs which are under operations in that industry, it will give us minimum material handling cost. Now here this total cost we have assumed like this total cost, it is the material handling cost plus machine rearrangement cost. Machine rearrangement cost means we are moving that machine from one place to another place, or we are changing the layout of the machine. So this will require some time. So for that time period, some production is hampered, or for that time period, we will need to have cranes and all those things. So it will have some cost. So that is the rearrangement cost. And material handling cost means it is the cost which is required to move from one machine to another machine. Generally, we are selecting such an optimum sequence of the machines so that we will get minimum of the material handling cost, but at the same time minimum of the machine rearrangement cost. This machine rearrangement cost is occurring between 2 time periods when we are changing the rearrangement cost. And here this problem cannot be solved manually, so we need to go for the optimization. In this case, I have used genetic algorithm, and that too from genetic algorithm, I have considered real coded genetic algorithm to solve this particular problem. Coming to the next point, when this problem is considered that material handling cost should be less, or the layout of the machine should be such that total material handling cost should be less. So this is the objective function in this case, that is the minimization of Z. Z is the total cost, material handling cost. J is equal to 1 to P, K is equal to 1 to N, H is equal to 1 to N, L is equal to 1 to N, C, X, X, where J and K are the machines and H and L are the locations. Means from one machine to another machine, means from one location to another location, whatever the jobs are moving, that job, that number of jobs, and cost means for movement of the job from one machine to another machine, or we will consider unit distance to be traveled for the product for moving from one location to another location for one unit distance, whatever the cost is required, that cost, and the distance between two machines. So all these informations are already collected, and this is the objective function for which we are going to find out the fitness function. So this is the coming to the next. Now the expected layout would be as follows, means after solving this problem, at the end we will get the answer like this. Suppose in this case, this is the location A, location B, location C, location D. Traditionally, we consider that for A, machine should be 1, 2, 3, 4. But after optimization, the expected answer would be such that at location A, suppose you keep the machine 2, location B, machine 4 be kept, so that this will be the optimum layout which will give us minimum of the material handling cost. It shows that location A, second machine is placed, means previously this second machine was here initially, traditionally. So to move this machine from this position to this position, we have incurred some cost. It is called as the rearrangement cost. Coming to the next point. Now, when we are considering different objectives, it can be distance-based objective. Distance-based objective means aims to minimize the sum of multiplication of flow and distance between locations and material flow from two charts. Now here, this particular chart shows us the chart of the locations of the machines. So, or locations, suppose this is A to B, B to C, C to D. And we can see this is a from to chart. Means from A to B, the distance is 15. Sorry, this is a flow chart. So from A machine to B machine, the 15 jobs are moving for particular operation. From A machine to C machine, 18 jobs are moving for that particular operation. So in this way, using the sequencing of the jobs, using the sequence of operations of the job, this from to chart can be developed. This is an example. This is not actual, just for explanation purpose it is shown. And it is generally canonical form, means we can see that from this part, this upper part and this lower part is more of the time it is similar. It is not necessary every time it will be similar, but we are considering simple case. So this is symmetrical form, means A to B is 15, means B to A is also 15, it is considered. Sometimes this rule cannot be followed, but okay. Then another distance measurement. Now in the previous slide we have seen this is the distance we are considering. So this distance measurement between two machines can be of two types. It can be rectilinear or it can be Euclidean. Means through the diagram I can explain you. Suppose this is machine A and this is machine B. If we are considering the direct distance between A1 to A2, means from this machine to this machine, then this diagonal distance will be called as Euclidean distance. But generally this is not possible in the industry. So because we cannot cross the machines or the meanwhile whatever maybe the machines or some parts may be there. So generally in every industry a rectilinear path is followed. This rectilinear path means some distance we are moving horizontal, some distance vertical. So in this way we are reaching to the next machine, which is more feasible in all the cases. So this distance calculation, it is called as the rectilinear. In this particular problem, I have considered rectilinear distances. So this was the first way of considering the problem, that is objective function distance measurement or distance based objective. And second is it can be adjacency based approach, that is qualitative approach. Means instead of considering the distance, we can consider some other options, closeness or farness between two facilities, or it should be giving less accidents, less noise, more comfort, temperature should be avoided, pollution should be avoided. Considering all these constraints or conditions, when we will find out the optimum layout, then we can call it as a adjacency based approach. In this particular case study, I have considered the distance based approach. So initially I have shown you the original objective function given by the Balkrishnan. So when we have considered the time period, means for one time period the machine sequence will be like this. In the second time period, as per the condition of the jobs, as per the conditions of number of pieces, as per the requirement of the market, again in that time period the layout of the machines are changed. So considering this time period, this particular part, the objective function has been modified and it was used from Balakrishnan et al. It was given in 2003 by Balakrishnan. So the new objective function has changed to this minimize Z original objective function plus this is the rearrangement cost for that particular time period. This T is the time period. It can be 2, 3, 4, what else. Again, this is the explanation. Now, our ultimate objective function, our ultimate aim is the Z, which is the total material handling cost, it should be less. Flow is the cost from machine I to K. Again, the same terminology. This is the explanation of the objective function. Equation 1, that was the equation 1 was this main objective function. It was giving us the sum of the material flow cost and layout rearrangement cost for the planning horizon. Equations 2 and 3 state that each machine must be located and each location must be occupied in every period. So these are the requirements of that objective function. Now here we will come to the problem statement. Now this case study was solved in one middle scale industry in Nashik, SM Auto. It is called as SM Auto in Ambad. Now here allocation of machines to locations at different time periods such that the total cost is minimized. Now I will give you more information about this particular problem. In this particular industry, there are 18 press tools, 18 machines. Now this was particularly a press tool shop. There were 18 press tools and the sizes of those all 18 press tools were varying from 62 tons to 800 tons. Along with that means their sizes were varying, capacity sizes were varying, even the stroke length was also varying, even the machine size was also varying, press tonnage was also varying. Means all those 18 machines were of different kind. All those 18 machines were having some advantage, some drawback for performing that particular operation. So for different operations on different jobs, different particular machines were required. Now the problem was that in that industry there were about 120 types of products, 120 types of products they were processing. Now, what was done in this particular case study? What I did, all those 120 products I have converted into, all those 120 products were converted, or it was processed for ABC analysis. Means out of those 120 products, about 20 products were A category. Means they were very less in the number. Out of 120, only 20 numbers, but their costing was about 80% of the industry transaction. It was giving the market, overall market to that industry. It was about 80%. Some were about B% and some were C type category. Means it was clear that out of those 120 products, about 20 products were of category A, means which were major products, which were going to directly affect on the economy of that industry. Remaining products were supporting. Now all these 20 products which were under consideration, all those 20 products were of different category. Their quantity was different, and at the same time, it was not necessary or it was not predicted that those 20 products will be continued throughout the year every time. Some of them were continued constant for 6 to 8 months. After that, they were stopped. New products were coming. Some products were eliminated. But ultimately, about 20 products, means category A products, were remaining about in the 20 number. So this was the problem. So I have focused on those 20 products. Now coming to the point, all those 20, so here is the question. Now some time period was considered. So for first time period, location, sequence of the machines, means layout of the machines will be something. In the second time period, as the total number of products are changed, their quantity is changed, their operations are changed, accordingly the layout will be changed. So it will incur the rearrangement cost. So in this case, about 2 more time periods were anticipated, taking into consideration the previous data and in discussion with the senior management of the industry. So last year's data, current data, and forecasted 2 years data was considered, and the overall information was prepared. Now, while proceeding with this particular problem, to solve this problem, some assumptions are there. We need to clear some assumptions while solving such case studies. So existing layout is known. Now the layout of the industry I will show you after the next slide. The distances between the machines are determined. This is possible. The flow between machines is dynamic and deterministic. I already told you. The flow between the machines means from machine 1 to machine 2, how many pieces are moving. This information can be had from the previous data, and it is dynamic because I told you between the different time periods, the quantity to be produced through that industry is varying as per the need of the parent industry or the customer industry. Machines and locations are of equal size. This is assumption. The rearrangement cost of a machine to a location is deterministic. Deterministic means it is assumed, means it is work first of all that for moving one machine from one location to another location, how much time is required, and for that purpose how many resources are required and what cost is incurred for that particular operation. So in this way, this rearrangement cost is determined. Effect of material handling equipment is not considered. All locations of the machines are equipped with necessary services like electrical fittings, compressed air, illumination, etc. Means all the locations are provided with these facilities. Means we cannot say that this particular machine cannot be placed to that particular location because this particular facility is not there. So this option is nullified. And next, coming to the genetic algorithm. Now, after having all these assumptions and all these details, we will come to the genetic algorithm. A genetic algorithm, a genetic algorithm is a search heuristic that mimics the process of natural evaluation. Now, this information we all know, and this is already available with the books and on internet also it is available. Conceptualization of genetic algorithm in current form is generally attributed to Holland, and Goldberg gave some more advanced topics into this. The GA consists of, this is important, the GA consists of 4 main stages: evaluation, selection, crossover, and mutation. Now coming to this is the terminology we should know before moving for the genetic algorithm, that is individual, population, search space, chromosome, trait, allele, locus, genome, and all these things. These are the definitions, and we have to understand this. Now, this is the pseudocode for the genetic algorithm. This is also available everywhere. But how are we going to utilize this, or how we are going to formulate this is important. Now choose initial population of the individual. Means in this case, I would like to give you the example. Now in the genetic algorithm, the concept is like this. There will be 2 solutions, means we call them as the string, or 2 individuals, we are calling them as a parent. Now from those parents, we are getting 2 offspring. So that now we have initial 2 and the 2 offspring. So 4 total solutions we have derived. And through those 4 solutions, we will see which one is better. If we are not getting better solution, then we will go for the crossover. This is the crossover. In this crossover, we are altering the properties of some part of the string of parent. Let us say mother and father, or parent A and parent B. So there some part is swapped or crossover, and we are getting new offspring. Or if still then we are not satisfied, then we are going for the mutation. And through the mutation, we are changing the positions of the genes in the crossover, in the string, and we are changing the solution. So in this way, we are going for the genetic algorithm. This is the pseudocode. We will go in detail in the next slide. Before going to the next slide, these are the limitations of genetic algorithm. We all know this. Now, in this case, I have used real coded genetic algorithm. Means what? Generally, in the genetic algorithm, we are using binary code for the formation of the string. Means every string, it is made by using the 2 digits only, 0 and 1, binary code. Now this binary code may be 4 digit, 8 digit, 12 digit for each one gene. And then that binary code is converted to real number. The processing is done. Again, whatever the answer we are getting, it is converted to the binary code, and then we are getting the answer. So in this way, that genetic algorithm using the binary code is working. But in case of real coded genetic algorithm, instead of using 0 and 1, that is binary code, real numbers we are going to use. Means when we wanted to say 2, in case of binary, we will say 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. This will give you, 1, 0. This will give us 2 number in case of binary. But instead of that, in real code, we will say 2 directly. So using the real number, we are going to code the algorithm. This is the real coded genetic algorithm. It has got some advantages also. Advantages of RCGA: when dealing with large dimensions and a great numerical precision, real coded genetic algorithm is useful. Because in case of binary genetic algorithm, if we wanted more precision, we have to increase the number of binary digits in that gene. So the number of the total string size becomes very huge, and to operate that and to handle that, it becomes very complicated. The size of the chromosome is kept the same as the length of the solution to the problem. The binary code does not operate directly on the optimization parameters, on a discretized representation of them. Discretization error will inevitably be introduced when encoding a real number. So these are the some advantages and drawbacks of the real coded genetic algorithm. Coming to the limitations of RCGA, all offspring are accepted and their parent strings are abandoned at the end of every generation regardless of their fitness value. Now, apparently we can see that this is the limitation, but when we are coding that algorithm, this drawback can be overcome by using the proper coding. Risk of replacing good parent strings with deteriorated child strings, and only good parents are given chance to produce the offspring. So this is again the criteria what we are selecting in the coding of the program. So this can also be overcome with the proper coding or proper conditions. Now coming to the algorithm for RCGA. Step number 1, the parameters like probability of crossover, probability of mutation, population size and termination criteria are defined. We all know in the genetic algorithm we have to undergo, first of all, crossover probability. Means whatever the population size we have taken, all the strings are not taken or the solutions are not taken for the crossover. We are taking some percentage of strings for the crossover. So it is called as the crossover probability. Again, probability of mutation. Again, very small number of solutions we are considering for the mutation. So this is called as mutation probability. And again, population size and termination criteria. Now these 4 parameters are important because these 4 parameters are going to affect on the arrival of the solution. If these parameters are selected properly, then we can arrive to the solution early. Otherwise, it may take large time or we may or may not get the proper solution also. This is related to this. So while selecting all these things, it is important. And then a set of possible solutions is called as the initial population is initialized such that values range uniformly throughout the search space. Now initial population or initial solution means, here I would like to give the example. Suppose in your industry there are 4 machines, then the solution or ultimate solution for this particular problem in your industry having 4 machines would be a sequence of machines. Suppose the answer is 2, 3, 4, 1. This may be the sequence, this may be your final answer. Now suppose this is your optimum answer. To reach this optimum answer using the genetic algorithm, initially we have to produce initial population. Means using some coding, we will have to generate some initial population. Let us say the generated initial population may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. These are the sample initial population. Now, okay, here we have to write the program for genetic algorithm. Now this program can be written in any language. This is our choice. We can have C, we can use Python, we can use MATLAB or whichever the language we know. In that language the program can be written. I have used MATLAB for this particular problem. So using that program, initial population or initial solutions are generated uniformly throughout the search space. The fitness values are calculated for each of the individual and the population is sorted in the decreasing order of the fitness. I will come to that point. Then the next step is using some particular mechanism. The selection is taking place, selection of good answers, and then in the 5th step we are going to have the crossover probability or a crossover of the solution. So we will get some child chromosomes. Then again those child chromosomes with along with the original solution, some of them will go for the mutation, and at the end there will be some criteria, and step number 3 to step number 7 are repeated until termination condition is reached. and at the last population obtained at the end of the specified number of iterations is the outcome of this process. Now coming to this particular case study, so this is the layout of the industry, particular press shop of that industry. This is press 1, or we can say that position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, 5. In such way, there were 18 positions, or we can say locations. And on these 18 locations, 18 presses were there. But all those presses were kept onto the vibration absorbing pad. Means as and when wanted, we can pick that press and we can place at some other position. Means we can change the layout as per our requirement. We can change the sequence of the press tools as per our requirement as and when required. And the distance between two press tools, it is shown over here. It is in feet, and this black portion. It is the aisle. Means this is the location of the machine. This is the aisle, and this particular center line, it is showing us the center line of the aisle through which the distances are measured. Means rectilinear distances are measured. Coming to the next part, parameter setting. So coming to the actual coding of the part, in this particular problem, initial population what I have selected, it was 50. Why? Now this population size, as I told you, let us take the example that in your industry there are 5 machines. So there will be 5 factorial combinations, and initially we are going to generate the initial population. So initial chromosome we are saying. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, like this, these combinations. So how many combinations to be generated randomly initially? This is the population. In my case, I have gone for 50. How? Initially what I did, I have gone for 100 population, 200 population, 500 population, 10 population, 20 population, 30 population, in this way. And after selecting different populations, I have gone for different iterations of that particular population, and ultimately I come to know when I am going for 50 population size. In my case, now in this particular problem there are 18 machines, means the chromosome size will be 1 to 18. Whatever the chromosome or initial solution it is given by computer, it will be a number showing from 1 to 18. It may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 18, or 18, 16, 15, 13, 12, 9, 8, like this. Any number ranging from 1 to 18. So in my case, what I did, various sizes from 10 to 100 are checked, and it was observed that after 50 size, there was no substantial or significant change in the solution. Means whatever the solution I was getting at particular number of iterations, it was not varying after, means it was not changed after the population size 50. Unnecessary large population size will take large time. So in this case, the population size was selected 50. Then how many generations this total algorithm should run? Means from population to termination criteria, means the population to selection to fitness, then to crossover, then to mutation, and again checking. This is one iteration. Like this, how many iterations we have to run this program for? This is we have to have the criteria. We can have different criteria also. We can have time limit also. We can say that the solution should be of this quality, and then we will stop. This is also possible. But in my case, I have gone for 100 generations, means 100 iterations. So here, how this 100 was derived? Again, the generations were tried from 50, 80, 100, 200, 500, like this. But after running for different generations, I came to know that after 100 generations, there was no significant change in the solution. So it was not fruitful to run the algorithm again and again after 100 generations. So it was decided by me. These criteria can be determined as per our discretion. Then the next was crossover probability and mutation probability. Now what does it mean? Crossover probability means, suppose we have generated 10 solutions. Initial population is 10. I'm just giving you example 10. In my case, it was 50. So out of those, 0.7% means 70% population should undergo crossover. This is the meaning of this crossover probability. Means suppose we have generated 50 initial solutions. So out of those 50, 70% means 35 solutions will undergo the crossover. This is the meaning of this crossover probability. And out of those 50, 0.2% means only 10 solutions will undergo mutation. Now, how do I have come to this 0.7 and 0.2? This is the table which is showing us the mechanism. How do I have reached to this particular combination? Crossover probability 0.7 and mutation probability 0.2. What I did, for the selected population size and selected generations, means population size 50 and number of generations 100. For this particular combination, in my program, I took crossover probability 0.7, crossover probability 0.6, 0.7 and 0.8. And along with that, the mutation probability was taken 0.1, 0.15, 0.2. Why do 0.6 to 0.8 and 0.1 to 0.2? Because when I have gone through the different literature, it was observed that generally crossover probability is ranging in this range. And mutation probability is also ranging from 0.1 to 0.2 to 0.25 range. So out of this range, which one be selected for my particular problem, it was decided like this. So I took this set, crossover probability 0.6 and mutation probability 0.1. For this particular combination, my program of population size 50 and generation 100 size was run. Then the standard deviation of the solutions obtained for 100 times. This program was run 100 times. Okay, like this. So through those 100 solutions, it was observed that whatever the answer I was deriving, optimum answer, its solution was having deviation 3.58 for standard deviation. For different combinations, this standard deviation was like this. So after going like this for 100 times running this program for the decided set of parameters, it was come to know that when we are considering this particular combination, 0.7 and 0.2, the standard deviation of the variation of the solution is minimum. This is giving us the robustness of our program. Means whatever the program we have developed, we have to check whether that program is robust or not. So in this way, the robustness is checked, and now it shows that the standard deviation of the solution was this. So I have gone for 0.7 as the crossover probability and 0.2 as the mutation probability. And then considering this, means this was the first part, finalization of the 4 parameters. So in my problem, 50 is the population size, 100 is the generation number, and 0.7 and 0.2 are the crossover probability and mutation probability. Now coming to the second stage of the program. In my particular problem, there are 18 machines. So I have, for easiness purpose, all machines are numbered from 1 to 18. And random numbers are generated. And that number is from 1 to 18, random number. For example, we can see this 10, 9, 18, 15. See, this is the slash This is the random number. This is the first chromosome. So this chromosome is generated as the population through the program. But in my case, I have considered 5 time periods, means current time period and 4 next time periods were anticipated. Means I have to consider 18 machines in 5 time periods. So the chromosome size was 90. 18 5s are 90. Means the initial chromosome generated by computer, first chromosome, it is this 10 to 7, first 18 machines. From this to this, second 18 machines, from this to this, third 18 machines, fourth 18 machines, like this. Now, this particular sequence is randomly generated by the computer, by the program. Now this is one chromosome. In this way, I have generated in the program 50 such chromosomes. Now the state of sequence of one chromosome, in this way 50 chromosomes are generated randomly. Now here randomly means we can again devise a randomness mechanism. There can be variety of random numbers. So this can be a change in our program. Means by what random number method we have to generate the random sequences of the machine. Here we can code accordingly. Coming to the third fitness function. According to the equation, 50 states are generated, 50 chromosomes are generated, and whichever was our fitness function, means in the early slides, I have shown the objective function, what I have used from Balakrishnan sir's literature. So that objective function, for that objective function, this particular chromosome is evaluated. And so after, so let us take the example, for this particular chromosome which was randomly generated, the objective function's answer was this. Now this answer is not rupees, not distance, it is a combination of distance hit, distance number. Its unit is not important, but this value is important, and this value should be minimum. This is our aim. So for this particular chromosome, this answer is this. When the second chromosome is taken, answer is this. Means apparently this particular chromosome is better, this particular first chromosome is better than the second chromosome. We can see that this third chromosome, as if its answer is less, it is better than first two. So in this way, all those 50 chromosomes are evaluated for the given fitness function. Means whatever the fitness function we have decided, for that it is evaluated. Now coming to the step 4. Now we have to go for crossover. Now while going for crossover, generally we have to select good solutions only, good chromosomes only for crossover purpose. Its meaning is like this, simple. Crossover means we are asking the chromosomes for mating. Means there are two parents, we are asking them to go for mating. So according to the natural law, we know if the parents are good, automatically the child, means offspring, will be of better quality. So this is what is the natural law. So in this case, while sending the chromosomes for crossover purpose, we will send only those.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. We are out of time actually.
Okay, I will finish it. Yes, sir. Okay. Give me 5-10 minutes more. Hello. So
yes, sir. Please.
Using this roulette wheel method, we are selecting the good chromosomes. Now there can be various methods. You can go for tournament method. We can have n number of methods for selection criteria. Here roulette wheel method is explained. So using the roulette wheel method, the selection of the chromosomes is finalized. And coming to the next point, this slide is showing us the selected chromosomes. So according to that particular roulette wheel mechanism, chromosome 2, chromosome 1, chromosome 2 and chromosome 4 was selected. Means third chromosome was omitted because these three chromosomes were better. For example, I am telling you. So they were asked to go for crossover. Chromosome length is 18, 5 and 90. To perform the crossover, two parent strings are selected and a random number is generated between 1 to 90. I will give the example like this. See, this is the particular string or chromosome, parent 1 and parent 2. Now we wanted to cross over it. So crossover means from which point it to be crossover. So maybe from this point or this point. So we have to have some number. So again, I have generated one number randomly, that is 48. That 48 number was in the 1 to 90 length of the chromosome. Suppose it is falling here. So from this particular point, the chromosomes are crossover. Means this lower part is taken upside and upper part is taken lower side. So I got the new chromosome, that is child 1 and child 2 in like this. These two are called as the offspring. These were parent, these two are the offspring. Now what is the problem? In these offspring, this and this or this are the real numbers. While crossovering, these numbers were repeated. See, we can see here this 16 is 16. It is not possible in one chromosome numbers are repeated or genes are repeated. So here this is the trouble with the real coded genetic algorithm. If this would have been a binary coded algorithm, there was no need of this step. But this is the mechanism devised in this particular RCGA. So what I did, these numbers are deleted and whichever numbers are not present in this particular chromosome from 1 to 16, those numbers are randomly placed into these gaps. So I could get the new chromosome. For example, like this. This is in this way the chromosomes are generated. Coming to the next point, this is the mutation probability. Here the two numbers are generated randomly. See, this is one chromosome. In this chromosome, two numbers were generated randomly, suppose 4 and 9. So 4 is this and 9 is this. Mutation means these two numbers 17 and 2 are swapped from their position. Means 2 number is coming to this position and 17 is coming to this position. So the chromosomes value is changed. So in this way again we could get some new chromosomes. And after completing this iteration means we have generated the chromosomes, we have selected the chromosome, we have gone for crossovering, we have gone for mutation, and at the end we will see the values of all those chromosomes, and again we will go for the next iteration until the termination criteria is satisfied. And by the time all these values we are saving, and the chromosome or the particular chromosome whichever giving us the minimum of the fitness value objective function, that particular will be used as a optimum solution for our further operation. So here this is what is the way in which the genetic algorithm case study was used. Some more part is there, constraint part was also there, but as we are running short of time, now I stop here. I thank to Dr. Nandurkar sir for giving me this opportunity. I am also thankful to Professor Padmakar Pawar sir and Professor Shete sir, Professor Gangulde sir for giving this opportunity, and I am also thankful to all the audience for their patient listening. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your session. There are some questions from the audience.
Yes.
Yes. The question from the Bhushan Kamble. Is such work is suitable for a new plant layout setup or early install
You are
setup?
not audible clear. Hello.
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
There is a question from Bhushan Kamble. Is such work is suitable for new plant layout setup or early install setup?
Hello, I am not understanding question, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, sir.
Yes. Is such work is suitable for new plant layout setup or early install setup?
Yeah, see, this can be made useful for the new plants also. Only the requirement is that in this particular method, we need to have the history or the trend of products, in which period some parts are their quantity is reduced, some parts quantity is increased, some particular numbers are working in this the particular period, some particular products are stopped in the particular period. This information should be with us. Then only we can go for this kind of problem. Hello.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, there is one more question. What is the
Yes.
final solution for this case study and conclusion from
Now,
Pooja More?
see, in this case, for this case study, the beauty of the genetic algorithm, all these algorithm is what? Every time we are getting some different answer. Whatever the answer I have given to that industry, if I will solve that problem again I will get some new answer. So what we have to do is that by solving this problem again and again and again for many times, we have to reach to the closeness to the actual answer. We are getting optimum answer. We are not getting the true answer. So I cannot say that for this particular industry, this particular is the optimum or final answer. In that particular scenario, at that particular condition, after solving the case study, I have suggested them some solutions. So this is what is the hello.
So, yes, sir. Hello.
Okay, hello.
Okay, sir. No problem. Now, next question is random number is generated by program in MATLAB. How they are generated through toolbox in MATLAB?
This total program, what I have made, it was made by custom programming in the MATLAB. Because in the MATLAB, there is a GA tool available. But using that GA tool, it is a very preliminary kind of programming tool. Means when it is a very simple kind of problem, that time that GA tool can be used. Now this particular case study, what I have discussed, this was totally customized program written by me. So while devising the randomness, we can generate random numbers by any method. Means we have to write a code for that. There was no special tool used. The total program was written.
Okay, sir. There is some feedback from the audience, from the
Yes.
Dr. Preetham Kelos. That is excellent work done, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session. I
Thank you
request
very
all
much.
participants gather for the last session of this series at 1 p.m. sharp. And if you have any
Okay.
question till now, you can come with the questions. Hope all the answer will get at that particular session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So it is, sorry, Sangha sir, shall I close it?
Yes, no. Okay, no problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you.